your chat thing to where it shows the live and not the top
Yes.
post.
Let's make sure
Hi,
I can keep update.
everybody. uh,
Hello. We're
hello,
here.
Overlord. We see you're in there. When do you hear us? Um, Hi,
Give
Harry.
it
How are
two
you doing?
minutes and we'll be in sync.
We
I'm
will.
very
We
well.
will.
I'm
You're
full
very
of
well.
I'm full of Sunday dinner and weekend cheer. It's drizzly and cool, but I'm
You had
indoors,
a
so
good
it's fine.
weekend. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's been pleasant.
It's been pleasant. My weekend's
And
been
you?
pretty nice. It's been pretty nice. I've enjoyed it.
Aside from your neighbour's overwatered plants bringing
And then
creepy
sad.
crawlies into
Aside
you.
from that, yes, I've enjoyed my weekend. It's been refreshing. So
Yes, certainly was refreshing having my walk back from my dad's this evening in the light
I
drizzle.
I love the way there they are. Hi, Overlord. So
Hello,
about
Overlord.
1 minute and 15 seconds behind. I love the
Not
way it
bad.
lightly drizzles all cool in the UK because it just like kind of kisses your skin softly and
Yeah, it's
it's
like
refreshing.
heavy mist.
Yeah.
Drizzle. Yeah, drizzle is a very English thing. You don't really do drizzle in America, do you? Would you ever
Yeah.
describe the rain as drizzle?
Drizzle
Hey, look
all
at
the
everyone getting
time.
lively. Hey,
Hi,
Tommy.
Tommy.
Hey,
Hi,
Leslie.
Leslie. How are you guys doing? Yes, we say drizzle all the time. A drizzle's a very particular.
Drizzle? Okay, cool.
Yeah. You got drizzles and showers and downpours. It rains cats and dogs. It's storming. It's a
Hmm.
flood.
Well, fine. Shut
Yeah,
me
y'all
up.
shut you up. Y'all don't have it on. Y'all don't have the whatever on drizzle. Can't think of the word. But
Yes.
hi, guys. Um, Welcome to the Mother Tech prompt live for Society of Secretly Perfect Poets.
That's what it is.
Please pardon as I slap around. My downstairs neighbor apartment manager has plants, and this time of year, when it's raining a lot, they get gnats. Um, Leslie saying hi to everybody, and Tommy said hi to everybody. Overlord has. So, woo, we got an audience. That's good. And shall we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, who the hell are you?
I don't remember. Who am I?
Well, I am Angelique from the Breath of Dream. No, that's you. You
No,
start.
I think I'm Harry. Well, not quite as hairy as
That
normal. I did
that's
shave my
you.
head
You're the
today.
one with purple hair. I'm the one with dreadlocks. I need
Oh,
to
that's
shave my
right.
sides as well. I haven't done it, so I'm wearing my bandana, my headband.
That's what I was told. I'm the purple haired chick with the cat ears. That's me.
Purple haired chick with the
That's
cat
what she
ears.
said, right? Purple haired chick with the cat ears. Um, yes. We are here for Society of Secretly Perfect Poets.
That's right. I am Harry, Hob the poet.
And I'm Angelique
So
from the
there.
Breath of Daydreams. In the room monitoring is VJHD.writer, otherwise known as the Overlord. Dun dun dun. And we will be reading some poetry tonight from society members who wrote some incredible poetry. So enter all who seek meowrific community values. Friendship shall be found amongst the paw prints of poetic ink. Harry, what is the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets?
We are a, a collective of we are an eccentric collective of poets and writers. Collective, yeah, that's a weird word, isn't it? But I mean, society is in the name, so I was trying to. But yeah, we are somewhat of a society, a motley crew, a random grouping of characters of interesting kitties that like
Colony
to
of
write, and
kitties,
we like
even.
a colony of kitties. Yeah, I like that. A sort of menagerie.
A
But yeah,
menagerie
we
strays.
a pride. We are a proud
You're a
pride
pride, yes.
of poetic kitties. We like to write to strange prompts that we are handed out by our gracious overlord. And
Yes.
yeah,
We
right.
collect
What
things.
we get fired out to us, and every month we will. You're expected to write to at least one of our prompts. We have several each week. Specific ones like today. You'll get secret words, secret prompts, sometimes secret phrases to write to, which you then need to feature in your poem,
And
depending on the
today's is
rules of that
different.
week.
Today's is going to be
Today's is
fun.
different. Today's is interesting. But that's part of what happens in the society. Just as you think you're getting used to things, it takes an unexpected turn. And it's interesting
Yeah.
because it keeps everyone on their toes, keeps everyone creative, and we get some really interesting results.
Yes.
So,
Overlord says Angelique comes up with prompts too. I kept her brain. They did. It's in a jar. So when I
I
forget
see. Well,
words or
that makes
start
sense.
staring off into nowhere, you know why now. And Leslie says, we are fabulous. We are amazing. We are super fragilistic poets. Woof! We got Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Well, I think
Leslie
we could
Poppins
do
right
Mary
there in the
Poppins
chat.
proud. That's right. Leslie would make a great Mary Poppins.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I think so.
I think so.
But yes,
And
that put
so
it better than I did. We are
Leslie puts
amazing
things
and
better than
fabulous.
most. Yes, Leslie
Yes.
Leslie is very good with words. I
Oh,
would much
yes.
rather, if I have to describe something or say something wonderful about someone, if I could like go like have my Leslie AI and go, what would Leslie say? That is what I'm going with because she's just phenomenal at it, I
Yeah.
think.
If you want something said with love or with passion, Leslie's the
Especially
one to
about
help you out with
poets.
that for sure.
Leslie's cackling
Cackling
popping.
popping.
Yeah. That
Cackle poppins.
cackle pop. Oh, I like that. That would work. That would work. Well, you got a new name, Leslie. You are no longer the beautiful owl. You're cackling poppins. It'll
Cackle
depend,
poppins.
it'll depend
Yes,
upon the day.
it's different. Yeah.
So tonight's prompts are special as the Pretty Purr Kitty token because next week is the 6-month anniversary for the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets. Woohoo! Yay! Six
Can you
months.
believe it?
I know
We're
it's went
growing
by
up.
so quickly. We
And
are. We're
we're
getting
not growing up. We're
older.
not getting more mature. We're getting more experience, though, that's for sure.
Yes. So y'all need to pay really close attention because the prompts are going to be based on the answers to questions that we will be asking you about the special Pretty Purr Kitty token. And if you're in the society, you've seen it because the Overlord put it in the announcements. Um, and the kitty token's name is Celly Cat, otherwise known as Celebration Cat, or I like to think of it as Celestial Cat. And Leslie is throwing the bubbles and the sparkles and doing all the dances. She's got her supercalifragilistic all on,
Mm.
espialidocious levels. So please pay close attention. You might want to screenshot the prompts. Please try to keep the answer to each question to a single word or phrase. And when you turn in your writing, you will need to include your list of answers because everyone is going to have individual prompts depending upon what they answer. No two prompts will likely be alike. And so, with that said, the first
Dun, dun,
prompt
dun.
question, dun dun dun, that you need to write your answer down is, what is your Selly Cat's nickname? What is your Selly Cat's nickname?
And the prompt question is, what is your silly cat's nickname? What is your silly cat's nickname? That is silly cat, not silly cat. Just to be clear.
Could be a silly Sully cat. A silly
It could be
Sully
a silly
Sully
cat.
cat.
Yes. Let's
Um,
not go down
it
that
could
route,
be.
shall we?
It could be. It could be. It could be Sally, the silly Sully Sully cat.
Good
Oh, I
grief.
hope somebody will write about Sally, the silly Sully Sully cat. That would be so exciting. Oh, anyway.
Its favorite food is celery. Yeah, this is a rabbit hole we don't need to be going down right now.
No, why did you bring up
In
celery?
the very first couple of minutes, we're just going to completely divert.
And so tonight, everybody wrote for an interesting prompt in and of itself. Uh, they had to write using the words if they wanted just the original for their poem to qualify. They had to use the words ecosystem, cyberspace, cloud, worm, virus, and the pretty purr kitty token word is latibulate. Latibulate. And then what words did they have to use for the gold ticket, Harry?
The golden. Hold on, I've just lost it. Where are we? Oh, this is the golden ticket words were tree, spider, water, swarm, and bug.
Yes. And all the words chosen were words that technology borrowed from descriptions of nature. So the words that needed to be used in a poem, prose, or short story that both showed the nature side of things and the technology side of things in order for it to qualify. All of the words were taken from an article that the Overlord read, which is really cool, I think. And I I think that everybody did a pretty phenomenal job, and every single person who wrote to it got the gold ticket and the pretty purple kitty cat token. Every single
Mm-hmm.
one. So yay for all of them! And
Yeah,
we
it's going to
have
be
a
good.
favorite. We have a favorite tonight.
Someone did very well for themselves then.
Someone did very well. Who did the Overlord pick as their favorite tonight?
It looks like Broken Blue Pen seems to be the favorite of the prompt.
Woo!
So well done,
Oh!
Blue.
Yes, because Blue was so cool in that not only did he write it, so when y'all are listening to, because Harry's going to read it, when y'all are listening to Harry read, he also used synonyms for every word within his poem too. So love it when kitties go the extra mile, don't you?
Yes, I got very creative with it. It's going to be interesting because I feel like everyone's going to have thrown in some interesting words that I'm going to get wrong here. So it'll be fun.
I think so too. And before we start with that, then we should probably give the second prompt.
Because we all need to get these fired out within the first
We
hour. You're
got to
going to get
get them
all
in
of
the
the
first
prompts
hour.
within
Yes.
this first hour. You're going to get all the prompts.
So the second prompt question that you need to write a one-word answer, preferably, or just a couple of words, because you'll have to use them, is what is the name of the planet, star, galaxy, or dimension that your Sally cat was born in? It can be completely fiction. Let your creativity go wild.
This is going to leave itself open for some wildly interesting pieces, I think. Because people can kind of lean into their own creativity with these prompts because they're sort of dictating what they're going to be writing about.
Yes, that's why I did it this way, because I thought it would be fun to see what people would do.
Yeah.
So you want
So
to?
we're going to start with the favorite
You're not going to
by
do your
Broken Blue
announcer
Pen.
voice?
Oh, sorry. Yes. The second prompt is what is the name of the planet, star, galaxy, or dimension that your silly cat was born in? Silly cat, not silly cat.
I'm gonna start calling it the Sally
silly,
Sully cat,
your
just
silly
because
cat.
you keep doing that. Yes. And Overlord says, and they can write their answer prompts in their captions because they are unique. Yes, you can. If you post it, when you post your caption, you can put what your answers to each of those questions were in your caption to make it easy or for you if you'd
Because
like.
no one else can use them anyway, because they're all
Nope.
different.
Yes. So, would you like to read Blue?
Sure, I will try
Da
my best. So
da da
this
da
is a
da da
favorite
da
of the prompts. This is a golden
da
ticket
da.
winner, a kitty token winner. This is just an all-round winner. So
Blue's
let's see if I can
amazing.
win at reading it aloud. So this is of word repurposing by Broken Blue Pen. The Mandarin madness forces me to latibulate. So oft the ecosystem in which I survive are the darkest corners. In the deepest crevices of my mind, fear leads the swarm. A violent worm eats like a ravenous spider, working through cyberspace as the ebbs and flows of hatred move like the endless motion of dark water. A tree reaches for a cloud of peace, only to fail in its endeavor to bring a new oxygen to the survivors, of which I am not one. I'm the little bug Clementine stomps on without second thought. As are you, friend, as are the deceived. The congregation cannot see. Overcast words make murky the truth. The virtual community unaware they support the wiggler. Biosphere created to self-protect. Obvious. To those not blinded by the lies of the orange mist, only the tangerine dreamers think the seedling will bring about a great land of the past. Back there where the pond of bondage triumphed, banging the drum of free labor, the throngs fought and died there too, so that the Aranea can devour the unsuspecting creepy crawly.
And that was 1648, Overlord. Thank you for that reminder. 16
And
minutes and
I
48
don't believe that
seconds.
I said that last word correct.
I don't know what that
Aranea?
last. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember. Hold on.
I
But
can
that was
tell
an
you that
amazing.
my favorite line already is only the tangerine dreamers think the seedling will bring about a great land of the
No!
past. Yeah, whatever was that going to be your choice? Every time. Every time.
Every time. Why you got to do that? The Aranea, sometimes called were spiders, are a magical race of sentient, shape-shifting spiders. They're orb-weaving spiders, or garden or barn spiders. So it's like, which is the answer? Let's go with garden or barn spiders. Uh, oh, yeah, because baby spider, who's Charlotte's daughter, is Aranea Highwind as well. So that's cool.
There you go. That
Leslie
proves that.
loves the word. Tommy says wonderful Blue. And yes, I loved it. And since I can't pick my favorite line because somebody stole it, um, I'm going to
Kind of
go with
kind of killed it with the first line as well.
that's no, stop it. That was my next. What are you doing? No, you can't pick two before I get to pick one. The Mandarin madness forces me to latibulate is my favorite line because one, I love the word latibulate. Learned a new word from the pretty purr kitty token word. Latibulate, to hide in the corner, is what it meant in the 17th century. But now it just means you can hide, or like go up on top of your kitty bookshelf and just stay in the shadows while watching everybody. I like that. To retreat. Tommy says Tangerine Dream was a cool band. It was a cool band. And Overlord
My
says,
brother's
love a
just
good
been
piece that
getting
shows
into
how
them a
much they
bit.
researched. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Tangerine Dream, because he's discovered vinyl, so he's been going through like my
Ah,
dad's old vinyls and vinyls from other people. He's just been getting into that, especially that kind of retro analog and synthesizer kind of electric music. Just interesting.
yeah, it's cool. And Overlord says, you know your piece is good if Angelique and Harry are fighting over it. I love it
There's
because
some good lines in it.
he's basically giving the finger to Trump, and I love Blue for that. So you go.
I like the way it's written is interesting as well because it's got that sort of blend of the classic and contemporary in it with the language used, which is very appropriate for the prompt words as well.
Yes, and I also like the way, not only that, but the adjectives that he's using in trying to bring in all those synonyms. But he used some really amazing adjectives throughout it, like the Mandarin madness, but the deepest crevices, the violent worm, the ravenous spider,
Ravenous
the
spider,
endless
yeah.
motion. I really like his use of adjectives in it. And then I like that line where he says, I'm the little bug Clementine stomps on without second thought. And you read that line, and at first you think, oh, Clementine was just a nice little character. But then, note, Clementine is also an orange, just like Trump. And so it's like, oh, Blue is so witty and clever with his writing, and every single line he always gives so much for you to pick apart and just tantalize over. And we're already 22 minutes in, so we can't tantalize over the whole thing. But
The more I
oh,
look at it, though, the more I find like there's plenty of
so
lines to be
much.
favorites in it, really, because just even some of the shorter lines, like overcast words
That's what
make
I was about
murky the
to
truth.
say. Yes, that's what I was about to say. Or biosphere created to self-protect. Obvious. Dot dot dot. Ellipse. Yes. So ellipsis. He's way to go, Blue. And
Yeah,
then just
yeah,
that
very nicely
last
done.
bit, where he talks about back there where the pond of bondage triumphed, banging
Mm.
the drum of free labor. Banging the drum of free labor. What?
Throngs as well. Throngs is a nice word.
Yes.
A throng. I like
And
that
Leslie,
word.
yes, and Leslie liked that line too. Leslie says, "I love back there where the pond of bondage triumphed." The pond of bondage.
Pond of bondage. That's yeah.
Yeah,
There's
it's
plenty to wrap your mouth around in this poem. It's good. I like it.
there is. So, yay, Blue! That was really amazing. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Blue.
And
And I
that
hope
means
I read it
it's
okay for you as well.
you read it really good. You read it well.
You didn't write it. I'll take it from the author, but thank you.
Did you hear that, Blue?
We'll see
Um,
what Blue says.
Blue
They
loved the
tend to be
way
very
you read
they
last
tend to
time.
be very
Yeah,
complimentary. Yeah. I
Blue
mean,
is
everyone
very.
is very complimentary.
They are. Yes. And so for the third prompt question, question number 3 that you need to ask yourself and come up with an answer is, what stone element fuels your Sally Cat's spaceship?
Prompt 3 is what stone or element fuels your silly cat's spaceship? Your silly cat's spaceship.
Your Sully cat.
Yes. Your silly Sally, silly cat.
Yes, Sal, yes. And I just moved
It's going to
everywhere,
be
all
fun
the
to
way
see
down.
what people come up with for these
It
things. I'm
is.
looking
I'm
forward to it.
excited for it. I am. I look, yeah, it's going to be amazing. And so next at 2509, we have Melrose Poetry or Melrose underscore Poetry 18. And Mel also won a golden ticket and a pretty per kitty. Mel, love. I do believe she's a collector of the kitty. She's a
Somewhat of a
fellow
hoarder.
kitty lover. We bet. I think she is the only member of the society who has collected every single one. So if end of the year, a special kitty made just for people who have all of them or have so many, she would be the only one to get it.
They are one prolific poet for
They
sure,
are. So
and they tend to
Mel,
write to a lot of different forms
for,
as well, which I always think is good fun.
yeah, they're very good. And so she wrote a hard reset. Why did that disappear? Okay, there it is. A hard reset. The ecosystem of cyberspace. I am left wanting to latibulate high atop this swaying tree, similar to a spider whose web holds on to a bug for dear life, knowing it eventually has to eat. An information storm starting over. Sorry. A hard reset. The ecosystem of cyberspace. I am left wanting to latibulate high atop this swaying tree, similar to a spider whose web holds on to a bug for dear life, knowing it eventually has to eat. An information storm capitulates to a swarm of winged freedom fighters. After all, they are willing to kill the power, force a hard reset. A darkening cloud above warns of dangerous infiltrating worm. There is no recovery from this virus. All the droplets of water wasted within contaminated cumulonimbus. I never can say that cloud right. Sustenance won't be found there. An information storm capitulates to a swarm of haloed freedom fighters. After all, they are willing to kill the power, work through a hard reset. This is a form. What is this form called,
Yes,
Harry?
I don't know. It's unfamiliar to me, but it feels like it is laid out quite specifically.
No, I'm
And
aware of it.
and and they,
Oh,
I've found a lot of forms that I'm unaware of through Melrose uh, poetry posting these, and I'm constantly hitting her up for what is this? I want to write to this. It's intriguing. I don't recognize it. This is
yeah,
interesting.
this Overlord, go look on Mel's page and tell me what this form is while we give what our favorites are, because it draws from each of the stanzas and puts those lines in the bottom. It's a very specific form, and I can't think of the name, but I recognize the form. Um,
It's
and
got a slight, yeah. It's almost refrain.
that's not free verse.
No, because it's an information storm capitulates. An information storm capitulates to a swarm of winged freedom fighters, to a swarm of haloed freedom fighters.
She
After
does.
all, they are willing to kill the power. After all, they are willing to kill the power. Force a hard reset. Work through a hard reset.
So Leslie says, I still don't understand what we need to do, but hope you can clarify these prompts. Will do, Leslie. There'll be more information given out at the end. Right now, you just need to write down the answers to the questions. Overlord says, we will know during our celebration as I'm going to tally all the kitty tokens. And Leslie and Overlord says she calls it free verse. Really? Because I could have swear
Fair
there's a
enough.
very specific form, because the way that last stanza is, I swear I've seen a form like that. And Overlord says, I think it's just Mel being fabulous because she wrote free verse in the caption.
Yeah, I can understand that because she plays
But
around with so many forms. So she's just grabbed elements. It
grabs
feels
the
like there's
elements of
elements because
another form.
I can't tell what the form is, but yeah, it does seem like there's elements that she's just sort of let become a poem
Part of it.
herself.
Well, what's your favorite
Hmm.
line? Go steal my line. What's your favorite line?
I'll let you choose first,
You'll
and
let
we'll
me do
see.
it first.
All right, no, a darkening cloud above warns of a dangerous
What?
infiltrating worm.
That is messed up, Harry. That's
You
called
can't be
teasing.
serious.
Um, mm.
Okay, all right,
Then
you
mine
can have
is,
that
and if
one.
no, don't you go steal my second one. Then mine is an information storm capitulates to a swarm of haloed freedom fighters.
I
Is that
wasn't
what
going to
you're
say
about to
that
pick?
anyway.
Good.
No, I was going to do the one before that. Well, I think I prefer actually than the one I chose. All the droplets of water wasted within contaminated cumulonimbus. That is how you say
Really?
that word.
Well, thank you for pronouncing that word for me. Really? You steal my favorite line, and then after I have to pick another one, you're like, you know what? It's not my favorite after all. I'm going to pick this one. I see how you are, Harry. I see how you are. But um, I really like the way that she brought in the storm with the storm, like the storm of technology with nature. She blended the two really well as
Mm.
in her metaphors as she goes throughout uh, the poem, and
Yes,
I
there is
like
no recovery from this virus.
yes the force of the hard reset, and I also really liked uh, of I liked that the line that you picked, all the droplets of water wasted within the contaminant. That's really nice. So thank you, Mel. Amazing poem. Yay! And I'm gonna have to look up because I know how she did that last stanza. It's very specific in a certain form, and I can't think of what it is. So I bet she took it from that. Maybe.
It's all the refrain except for like
Yeah,
a
it's
couple of words. The last
it
stanza
is. It is.
or
And
the third
there's a
the third.
particular form that does that. That's what that
I'm
form
still
does.
I'm still in my infancy of understanding forms and stuff. There's only a few that I know.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't recognize it, but it seems characteristic of something.
Um, Overlord
So
is
it
laughing.
is.
And so that means we have another prompt question. Da, 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 da. Your fourth question that you must answer is, what is your silly Sally Sully Sully cat's favorite food or treat?
Prompt question 4 is, what is your silly cat's favorite food or treat?
Yay!
There it is.
And the Overlord's putting it in the chat so that you can see it. And so then that means at 33 minutes and 58 seconds, we have.
Now we have ash, the nature of ash, and this is going to take me right back, I feel like, to my first time reading poetry and being exposed to Ash's poetry and her very specific way of throwing me off rhythms and using strange words that I don't know how to say. So this is
Better
going to
you
be
than
very
me.
nostalgic. Yes, yes. When you were happy for me to start, I didn't realize it was.
I gave you the choice. You got to choose. You could have went second or
But
first, and you chose first.
yeah, but I think Ash Ash knows me well enough, and I know her well enough to expect that I'm going to probably get it wrong, but she won't have hurt feelings about
She
it,
spelled it out for you. She
I
gave you the
think.
phonetic pronunciation very
Yeah, but that's.
kindly.
Have you seen how the phonetic pronunciation is written? It's harder to read than the actual word is written down. It's
I
written
know,
in
I
like
love it.
glyphs and like runes or something.
It's awesome. Yes, I get yours, Overlord. Let's go, 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 go.
Okay, so this is ecosystem friendly fire by the nature of ash. Contemplate beard petting, not gambling. Poganafar. Good grief. Pogano. Poganafar. This is going to be the last 20 minutes of the live. It's just me trying to say this word.
I think he's poking
Pogano.
off, Fern.
Poganoferen. That'll do, won't it? Sounds like some kind of medication. All right. Ecosystem friendly fire. Contemplate beard petting, not gambling. Poganoferen. Hair downletting. Before you let it worm brain burn, taking up space causes imaginary but very real pain. Just a reef, no firewall needed against this ecosystem friendly fireworm. Tap into the cloud. Watch images rain down as back into tube it'll squirm. Return to surface bubble jet streamed float. Rudely erupting, interrupting. Bob Ross happy white, proof cloud water gilded. Buoyant now, bacteria proof salt spiders across your skin seeking. Binding relentlessly, balancing virus bound. Bug hound, release to living off your core. Route to 15th floor. Branched circuitry steals undetectably along tree, barking your brain says, no, barking the secret swarm nauseums. Aerobatics midge imitated. Your brain says, don't swat. Float, holding breath, as bug clogs up works. Midge in your eye. Now you want to kill all them jerks. Deep breath, letting them fly. Eventually, the brain of the universe dictates they'll move on by. Eyes still closed, plugged the nose, in and out of throes, undulating with the splashes, lulled again through distant crashes. All systems a go. Meditate, latibulate, letting mind row. Crest occipital saddle. Arm stretched wide, slow paddle. Accessible, clear and free. Music, acoustic.
Yay! My favorite line starts with Bob Ross. You can't use that one.
Your favorite line is what?
Starts with the Bob Ross, so you can't use that one. It's Bob Ross, happy white, poof cloud, white gilded.
I could not keep track of what was going on in that poem. I have no idea.
Really?
Towards the end, I was kind of getting it, but I think I was just
Yeah, you started getting the
understanding the
rhythm at the
words.
end.
I was so focused on reading the words right, but yeah, there is a much better rhythm than I started. I got thrown by Poganov.
Yeah, you didn't have the rhythm right at the beginning. Tommy says, awesome, Ash, purple hearts. I, I take it that she's blending the uh, screwed up aspects of how bugs getting all up in you messes up the tech that's all up in you. Kind of like if you're depending on things, because right now bugs are every freaking where, and you go outside and you're just eating them.
Well, I like the very last line. I mean, it's only 2 words, but it is on a line, and I just like music acoustic. I think those 2 words sound nice together. Is that cheating?
It
Choosing that
is
as a
cheating.
line?
I think so. I think you need to choose the second one.
Okay.
But
I
acoustic
like,
music's awesome.
but then I like, I mean, can this count as a whole line then? I like plugged the nose in and out of throws, undulating with the splashes, lulled again through distant crashes.
Yes,
I mean,
you
they
can
they
choose
all
that.
kind of follow on, even though it's broken up, so it's hard to choose a single
It's a
thing
nice
as a
rhythm.
line. But I like that. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the rhythm and the rhyme.
Yeah, she really sunk into her rhythm. The more it got going, that ash rhythm that's so prevalent in much of her
Yes,
writing.
it mixes up, and whenever you hear her read the things, it's just like, oh well, that's. It seems so obvious because she just reads it like, that's obvious. Obvious that's how it's read. That's how I
Yeah.
wrote it. That's how it's read. But sometimes, whew, get very thrown off.
Yeah. And I like the line that goes after that Bob Ross too. Bob Ross, happy white, poof cloud, water gilded, buoyant now, bacteria proof salt spiders across your skin.
Salt
Salt
spiders.
spiders. Yeah.
It's just an
So,
interesting mashup of satisfying words to say.
which is
I haven't got
always
a clue what
fun.
she's on
So,
about, but I often don't have a clue what most people are on about until I have time to absorb it or people explain it to me. I'm
and
learning.
that was awesome, Ash. It was amazing. We'll get Ash to explain it to you. And Leslie says, I didn't know these worms can live centuries. I didn't know that either. I don't want to know that. Don't tell me about bugs that can live centuries.
Can they
Ugh.
be outlived by a worm?
Well, probably. I mean, you can certainly, there's worms you can cut and they just grow back. No mouth and no guts, says Leslie.
What a life.
And
Spineless
so,
creatures that they are.
ugh. And so before we have me squirming in my chair, we're on to the fifth prompt question, and that
Why?
is da 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 da. What is your Sally, silly, Sully, Sally Cat's favorite saying or quote?
Prompt 5 is what is your silly cat's favorite quote or saying?
Yay!
A silly Sally cat, silly Sally saying quote. Yes. Just like how
I
it's
hope
kind
somebody
of confusing,
does.
and we're making it more confusing.
I secretly hope that Patricia sees this and she goes, I want to write to a Sally, Sully, silly, a silly Sally, Sully, Sally cat, because she does those poems where it's like that so well, where she blends all the words in an alliterative way and with her rhyming, and she uses characters in her poems like that sometimes. And so I bet she could make a poem about that, like perfection, perfection.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Damn it. Sorry, didn't mean to curse. So it's like there's the light. Go to the light. Don't come to me. I bathed. Um, the next and the final of this group of poems is written by VJHD writer at 44 minutes and 8 seconds. And they also won a golden ticket and a pretty purr kitty token. Yay! Da, 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 da. Everybody won one. Um,
Everyone won everything. Hooray. Well
everyone
done,
won
everyone.
everything. It's awesome. Except, no, 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 but only Blue won the favorite. Blue
Yes,
is the
that's
king.
true.
Blue is the king of the mountain. Um,
King Blue.
very catty behavior, Angelique. You were the
Arr.
live pair, Angelique. Yeah, I'm like going to swiping at the air with my paws. Yes. And so, um, So this is Mother Tech by VJHD. Writer. Mother Tech. The ecosystems of the world today have been victim to a foray. Organisms plainly existing in coordinating units coexisting. Borrowed schematics, copying schemes brought this world to its extreme. Once a jungle of predictability, now a cyberspace with little clarity. The cycle of life is cruel, but fair, built to give everyone their share. Mother Nature's only flaw to date is keeping humanity behind the gate. A cloud of water nourishes roots, yet for tech a place to store what suits. Surfing the web, streaming gratification, drowning in data approximations. Rooted steeply in technology, trees now merely an analogy. Branches of files, data is stored to latibulate, a new way to hoard. An ecosystem branching unbiased, yet loneliness is at its highest. A bite of a spider, nature's cruel way, but an internet version comes to play, to hunt for its prey, to troll its own seed, forcing young minds to inevitably treat. A virus follows its basic forces, depleting all natural resources. Insidiously following coded source, a computer virus has no recourse. The soil of Earth is maintained by worms, yet a computer version acts like germs. A swarm in nature is such intelligence cannot be replicated without negligence. A collection of social misconduct is an algorithm born byproduct, reaching for seamless intentions, leading only to bugs and infections.
Rhymey.
They
That was very
rhymed,
rhymey,
right?
Overlord.
Ah,
And not just throwing in some rhymes, that was completely rhymey. Love it.
totally tech rhyming.
Hmm.
Holy tech
I don't know.
rhyming, Overlord. What's your favorite
I like
line?
rooted steeply in technology, trees now
Seriously?
merely an analogy. I don't believe you.
I don't believe me either. It's not my
I like
favorite.
straight after it, the way it rolls into the
Stop!
branches of
Stop!
fire. Oh, come
Tommy's
on!
giving Purple Heart. Stop it! Let me pick. Um, my favorite is not that. It is
Is it? Just see if I can guess your next, your next favorite one.
an ecosystem branching unbiased.
Okay.
I like the idea of that. An ecosystem that's branching
I
unbiased.
had to say the two lines because I like the rhyme. Rooted steeply in technology, trees not merely an analogy.
No, I think they did really good. I think they did really good with this because it wasn't it wasn't easy rhymes that they chose, and they chose a lot of half rhymes as well. But it still
Mm,
sounds really good. Uh, so I think that's cool. And they did play the nature and technology um,
yeah,
really good
loads of it.
throughout it. Yeah. Uh, I also like the line. Um,
I like all the water. The water
that's
emotions, like
I
the.
was gonna say a cloud of water nourishes roots. Stop it.
Well, no,
And
I was going more to I was going to more from that, from establishing that, and then the surfing the web, streaming gratification.
yeah, and I also like to latibulate, a new way to hoard. That's an interesting way to use latibulate. So very cool, Overlord. And you got the Purple Hearts from
Yeah,
Tommy. And on that note, we have the secret. Overlord says, "I was very excited. I was able to rhyme, and you rhymed
yeah, it was
quite
really
well.
good.
You did it really good.
Yes.
You need to rhyme more often. When you rhyme, you do it really well." They don't think they can rhyme, but they always pull the rhymes off quite nicely, I
When
think.
yeah, whenever they've used rhymes in poems, Overlord, whenever you rhyme, you nail it. So don't stop. Or
Yeah.
when don't do it just for the sake of it. But obviously, when you feel the time to rhyme is right, it usually is
Yes.
right. So yeah,
Yes.
I think you can be very pleased with yourself
And
for that.
yes. And Leslie says, excellent rhymes. And so for the final secret prompt question, and it is if you want to get your pretty purr kitty token, you must use an answer to this question. And the question da 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 is what superpower does your silly Sally Sully Sully cat have?
The Purdy Purr Kitty token question is, what superpower does your silly cat have?
And the overlord says it's because it takes so much work. I won't do it if it's not good. Oh,
Well, that's fair.
that's fair. That's fair. And so, before we give you the final rules, and the final rules might slightly go over the 1 hour mark, I am sorry. Um, we have some news to give, and that is basically the live that we're going to do after this one. That is the Mission Impossible prompt. Will be my last live that I'm reading on. Um, as a normal kind of read. I might still come in and fill in on occasion if necessary, but I'm not going to be reading anymore. The lives are going back to Instagram, and I just don't want to deal with all the Instagram shenanigans with lives and bans
They
and
just wouldn't
all
let
of
me
that.
do it.
Yeah,
After
it's
a
like they
couple of
just won't.
times, it just
I
never
don't want
worked.
to.
We
Yeah,
had so much trouble.
and so uh, with that, but and I'll announce more of that in a second. But with that said, I do want to thank everybody who has allowed me to read your poetry um, during the society lives, and even before that, when the Overlord and I first started doing lives together and reading people's poetry. I was going to write something, but then I was like, no, I don't want it to be all premeditated. But I think whenever somebody whenever somebody writes a poem, whether they're writing from their heart and writing about life experience, or they're writing something completely fictional, or they're writing something for someone else, they are taking from themselves and putting it on paper. They're taking the energy from themselves, and they're creating something new with that energy and those emotions and those thoughts. And whenever you read for the poetry, read for someone who has written, you are taking it upon yourself to try to capture what it is they're trying to say, to put those emotions into your words and to honor the word that they've written, whether it's serious or silly or sad or angry. It's up to you to honor that. And so I've tried to do that when I read people's poetry. I don't always succeed, but I have tried to do it. And it is a real honor to get to read and to be trusted to read people's poetry. So, with that in mind, thank you
Yes.
guys for allowing me to.
I think it shows, it comes across that you show the same level of respect to everyone's poetry, no matter how long or short it is, whether it was to a prompt, whether it was just, anything.
Thank you.
And I think that's important because, like you
It
said,
is important.
everyone's poetry is a little bit of them, and it's vulnerable and exposing to share that stuff,
Exactly.
whether it's funny or silly or sad or angry
Exactly.
or yeah.
And I take creativity, like, to me, creativity is the ultimate healing uh, power, the ultimate healing medicine. It is love. It is creativity is everything to me. So I
Mm.
really take it as an honored, special thing to be able to read. So thank you guys for letting me Let me see. The Overlord says anyone who wants to do it from YouTube won't be turned away, though. So if Angelique fills it in, it will be on YouTube. We shall vacation to YouTube on occasion. Tommy. Tommy says your awesomeness excels. Purple hearts. Thank you, Tommy. And Leslie says you are wonderful, Angelique. Thank you, Leslie. And Overlord says you have done a wonderful job, Angelique. Thank you. Okay, enough compliments. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, no more
I agree
compliments.
with
But
what they said.
thank you, Harry. You're very kind. Inside joke.
Yes, I am.
But um and so but but with that, I've got something even more exciting to announce, and I'm thrilled to get to announce this and say this is so next week, around June 1st, is the 6 month anniversary, and Leslie, the beautiful owl, Nashabella, is going to be reading the poetry for the 6 month anniversary, and I just think that is freaking perfect, and I'm going to tell you why I think it's perfect. One, it's the 6 month anniversary. It's handing over to a new reader, but Leslie loves, loves words and poetry and the poetry
Yeah.
community on Instagram, unlike anyone I have ever met.
Oh, and if you
She,
haven't heard Leslie read poetry, you owe it to yourself to listen to her read
oh,
poetry because
absolutely.
her voice, yes, is perfect for it. Perfect. And her
She,
love for the words. She exudes the love for the
she
words in the
does.
poetry completely.
Reading with her, whenever I get to do lives and read with her, it is like a refreshing downtime of just happy, giddy yumminess because she puts so much passion, um,
Hmm.
and love into the words. And Overlord says, and she has been with us so long too, one of our first members, and writes a lot, to
Mm.
many prompts. So I think it's going to be amazing to have her read it. If Instagram will let me go on, I don't know if I can. I haven't tried in about a month. Last time I tried, I still couldn't get into lives. But if Instagram will let me go on a live, I will come on briefly with you, Leslie, and do an intro and a poem or something. But it's gonna be your show, and it's gonna be fabulous, and I can't wait to see it. Cannot wait to see it. So we will be doing a little bit of a video update on Instagram throughout the week to let people know what's happening and what's going on, because the Overlord has some plans that they're wanting to kind of get going. And the Overlord asks that any member of the society who would like to read poetry, sometimes society poetry, because we know there's several people that are reading on lives and stuff within the society, and who are phenomenal readers. DM the Overlord and let them know, hey, I'd like to give it a go. Or if you'd like to go on with someone, hey, I'd like to give it a go. And
Yeah, I'm
you'll get to
sure
read
that,
too.
they wouldn't be averse to, maybe if you just wanted to read your piece, maybe, because some people are uncomfortable with being permanently
Yeah,
on, on the camera, but it's a nice way in because you have
it is a
this
safety net. You
safe
have
space, and you
Leslie.
have exactly, yeah, you'd be in very good company.
And Leslie says, thank you. And I'm happy to lend my support to the community. And you're always extremely supportive of everyone, Leslie. I mean,
It's a really good place to start reading as well, just because it is our little community within a
it's a
community,
safe
and
place.
everyone gets to know each other. They're so very supportive, and it's kind of daunting doing if it's your first time or you haven't really done it much. As soon as you get on there with someone, it kind of neutralizes very quickly that
It
awkwardness,
does.
especially if you've got
It,
someone right there to sort of kill any awkward silence that you might have if you don't know what to say. There's always someone there. It's very
and
nice.
it's so much easier like that. Yeah, I was so fortunate that Mike let me come on with him and do that, because I was awkward as heck at first by myself because of those silences, and it was so much easier with someone else. And Mike was so kind to essentially mentor me in
Mm.
doing lives, and I deeply, deeply appreciate that. Will always cherish that because it made it so much easier. And Overlord
Yeah,
says,
that,
yes, it's how
that's
Harry started. Yeah,
how I started. You convinced me to come on read
I
something
did.
live, and I did it awful and got a bit better after doing it
You're
sometimes.
a lot
Still
better.
still learning.
You read much better. I think we both read much better than we did when we started. Both of us,
See, I
very
don't
much
I
so.
you can't not get better the more you do something, really.
Yeah. Um, and on that
And
note,
you can
because we
still
are,
fumble. Yeah. Oh
yeah,
dear.
and we've went over
It's
time.
getting
We're an
late.
hour at it now, so we got to give those rules. And so here's the rules. Um, I'll do the normal. You can do the gold ticket. So for the normal poem, your poem must be 19 or more lines minimum. Have a 3-word minimum per line for it to count as a line. No rewrites. The answers to each question must be used in the poem, prose, or short story of no more than 3,000 words and listed when turned in. You do not have to write a poem about the cat. I repeat, you do not have to write a poem about the cat, but you have to use the words and phrases that you answered to the questions about the cat. Special note, they need to make sense as answers, or you will be disqualified. Don't just write something and then throw words as it has to be a stone or an element. It has to be a quote. You gotta answer the questions and then include them. And the gold ticket.
The golden ticket is writing a 30 plus minimum line poem or prose or short story about your silly cat's life. Any adventure or average day, hopes, dreams will do. You must use the words and phrases how they apply to the questions answered. 3-word per line minimum, no reposts. This is
So that
all new original material.
so that means for your if you're going for the golden ticket, and you're gonna have to not just include what your kitty's favorite food or treat is. What that word is, you have to include it in the poem as the kitty's favorite food or treat somehow. You don't have to say it's the, announce it like that, but you could say when they luckily they had their favorite food, celery, when they crashed on Neptune and blah 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 blah, right? And Leslie says,
Yeah.
with the questions, if you go, no, you don't have to write the questions down. The questions are just to give you your prompt words. The questions don't need to be included, just the prompt words. Does
Be
that make
inventive,
sense?
be bold, let your mind explore possibilities, and scribble your imaginative paws off.
We're very
We are
excited to
very
see what you
excited.
come up with, and I am so, so, so excited to hear Leslie read them. I think
Yeah,
she is going
it's
to
going to be
just,
fun.
it's going to be awesome. So freaking awesome. And so, um, you can, if you are not a member of the, if you're a member of the society, you know how you have to turn them in. If you're not a member of the society, you can DM your poems to Society Secretly Perfect Poets. That's perfect with 3 U's and 2 R's. On Instagram, the deadline is Friday the 24th at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, or 5:59 a.m. on Saturday for GMT, or 3 p.m. Saturday AEST. And Leslie says, "Oh my, this is insanely interesting. That was the
That is a
intention,
good
Leslie.
description. Insanely interesting. I think that is accurate.
I just want, I'm gonna have that like tattooed somewhere. Insanely interesting.
Insanely interesting.
No, really, just ask me. Uh, no, but I love that, Leslie. The video is going to stay up for the next 48 hours and then it'll be taken down until the deadline passes. So if you want to see it and get your, um,
Get the questions, get
get,
your answers,
yes,
take notes.
yes, take notes. So anything else to say, Harry?
Thank you very much, everyone, for writing the poems. And I'm sorry, Ash, but you know better.
Yes, thank you guys for writing the poems. Y'all's poems were amazing. Thank you guys for watching and complimenting the poets. We hope you'll come back for the Mission Impossible poems that we're going to be starting after this one. And uh, Tommy says thank you to both of us. And Harry, thank you for joining me in reading the poems tonight. And Overlord, thank you for moderating. And you guys in the room, thank you. And shall you take us out? And Leslie, thank you for that you're going to be reading next week and in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Um, and with that, we're saying good night for this live. For this live, we'll be back. We'll be back. Take us out, Harry.
Oh, yeah. Let me find our little.
Hmm.
There it is. So we are the voices beyond the din. We are the cats who will always win. We are poets of imagination, creativity, and meow scratching alphabetical dexterity. We search for clues and hunt for treats. We base our prose on instinctual beats. We keep a sharp eye towards various causes. We attract certain types of poetic pauses. We have a propensity for finding the fun when not being studiously serious with puns. We are the voices above the fray, with a safe space for those with something to say.
And Leslie says good night, everyone. Good night, Leslie. Good night, Harry. See you in a second. Bye, everybody.